she go move. Baby mama, if I dance, I like you like that. Mama, she go dance, I like you like that. And if I move, say she go move. Shingoro, mata tungoro, papa tungoro, mama tangoro, boro boro, mata tungoro, mata tangoro, it's a mata shingoro. For example, say I do my like this, somebody go like that. I do the other like that, everybody go like this. What's it? She go dance, and if I move, she go move. Baby mama, if I dance, how much she go dance? I like you like that. And if I move, say she go move. Shingoro, mata shingoro, papa shingoro, mama shingoro, mata shingoro, mata shingoro, it's a mata shingoro. I'm lucky about the man, sexy nautica. Enter motor, make me go down, something nautica. Bumpy, bumpy ride, lucky girl. Tease me, baby, let me show you how I do. Once it
ẹ̀gbọ́n bó ṣe ń jálálá ó ń dùn yùngbàyùngbà ó ń wọnú kọ̀kọ̀ǹgọ́ sí ẹran ara lọ. Solutions 93.9 FM ilé àwẹ̀ ní òkè àdó Ìbàdàn àwa lọ́nà àbáyọ.
Mama, brother, sister, what's in my bum? Saying them go, oh, she kilo. Solutions FM, 93.9. Ìbàdàn làwa, ilé àwẹ̀ nínú òkè àdó nìbàdàn. Ibẹ̀ làwa tá ti ń dá kọjọkọjọ.
Sẹ́rí olóbodò, òun ní bàbá egúngún. Ṣé bí kìnìún, òun lọ bẹ ẹranko. Ògògò tẹ́ẹ̀rí yẹ o, òun lọ bẹ ẹyẹ. Kọ́ máa forí àdàbà, kọ́ máa fi wé kíláàsì oró. Ó kọjọra wọn ni ìyàtọ̀ wà níbẹ̀. Solutions FM, àwa ní bàbá wọn.
Mama, brother, sister, what's in my bum?
Wàá ti máa gbọ́.
Saying them go, oh, she kilo. Solutions FM,
Ẹ̀ ń gbọ́ yẹn.
93.9. Ìbàdàn làwa,
Ilé Olúyọ̀lé.
ilé àwẹ̀ nínú òkè àdó nìbàdàn. Ibẹ̀ làwa tá ti ń dá kọjọkọjọ.
ẹ̀gbọ́n bó ṣe ń jálálá ó ń dùn yùngbàyùngbà ó ń wọnú kọ̀kọ̀ǹgọ́ sí ẹran ara lọ. Solutions 93.9 FM ilé àwẹ̀ ní òkè àdó Ìbàdàn àwa lọ́nà àbáyọ. ẹ̀gbọ́n bó ṣe ń jálálá ó ń dùn yùngbàyùngbà ó ń wọnú kọ̀kọ̀ǹgọ́ sí ẹran ara lọ. Solutions 93.9 FM ilé àwẹ̀ ní òkè àdó Ìbàdàn àwa lọ́nà àbáyọ.
Do not touch that dial. You know the radio you tune to, it's your Remedy dial, 93.9 Solutions FM. Your number one Remedy dial. Watima.
The last two winners of the UEFA Champions League meet remarkably for a third consecutive season in the knockout stages of Europe's elite club competition. Chelsea put out Real Madrid in the semi-finals on their way to becoming champions in 2021, but Real got their revenge at this stage a year ago. 164th cap he got last month. Here's Dani Carvajal. And it's Benzema on the spot after Vinicius chased it down. And Real Madrid do know how to score goals.
Well, continually they were getting penned in, Chelsea, trying to play it out, unable to do it. And a slightly longer ball might have been the order of the day, and they've been punished for it there. Absolutely ruthlessly. What a ball from Dani Carvajal that was. Into Vinicius. Perfectly flighted, weighted, right on the money. Yeah, one of those so often they can take a deflection. Fernandes just waved the leg at it. He's got the confidence to do it, Ancelotti, and Asensio's been in good form.
Cucurella took it away from Asensio. Oh, there's your second goal. Carlo Ancelotti has made the switch, and taking the applause is Marco Asensio. That good left foot, it was too strong for Kepa.
Yeah, he's done that so often for his team, Asensio. Such a reliable substitute when called upon and even when starting. He made this look easy, actually, but it was far from that. It's played across at a fair pace, and he strokes it in through the legs.
A win, and a home win, and a decent win, but as I say, not a decisive win. It's off to Stamford Bridge on Tuesday. We'll be there. Hope you'll join us. And the final score of the first leg here is Real Madrid 2, Chelsea 0.
Chelsea Queen. Good morning, everyone. That was what happened yesterday at the Champions League. Chelsea 0, Real Madrid 2. Well, it's Kickoff Sports Show. I have Oladapo Kunubi this morning beside me. I have no idea what's going on in his head, but we're sure that we're going to have the show good.
Okay, you want to know what is going on in my head? I guess you need to touch my hand here. Thank you very much. And I just want to type a mail to Todd Bowley to know why he decided to take some decisions. And, well, one of the things I also need to ask is, will that 3-0 still stand in the return leg? Remember, I said yesterday that Chelsea was going to win 3-0.
It's just, I guess that everyone is having the hope, because I was having this long argument with a lot of men yesterday night. They say that Chelsea is this kind of team that will come back or bounce back, irrespective of them having a difficult league game. I'm like, okay, no problem. Let's see what happens in the second leg. But it's very obvious in aggregate, Real Madrid 2, Chelsea 0.
Okay, well, remember Frank Lampard and Carlo Ancelotti both agreed that the return leg will also make the decision, will decide who moves to the semi-final stage of the UEFA Champions League, saying that the game is not yet over. But remember, last night, AC Milan continued their dominance over Napoli, following the 1-0 victory over Napoli last night in the UEFA Champions League. No Victor Osimhen, but according to the coach of Napoli, is saying that Victor Osimhen will be 100% fit for the return leg against AC Milan. Well, remember, you can watch us live from anywhere across the globe. Jump on our Facebook fan page, Solutions 939 FM. Solutions 939 FM, same as our YouTube channel, Solutions 939 FM. And well, remember, you can make a comment, your contributions on the show this morning. We are live. You can send us a WhatsApp message straight to 0904 4222 939, 0904 4222 939. Well, we'll have the quarterfinal of the Europa League also going down tonight, same as the quarterfinals of the Europa Conference League. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Let's start with the tennis after we went through the UEFA Champions League. Well, Daniil Medvedev marched past Lorenzo Sonego at the Monte Carlo Masters to secure a tour-leading 30th win of the 2023 season. The third seed overcame the Italian 6-3, 6-2 to clinch a spot in the round of 16 alongside compatriot Andrew Rublev and Karin Khachanov, marching just the third time in the Open era, and 3 Russians have reached that stage at Monte Carlo.
Okay, looking at Monte Carlo Masters Open, the ATP 1000 games for other result, Jan-Lennard Struff, Casper Ruud, Nicolas Jarry, Alexander Zverev, Lorenzo Musetti, Jiří Liheka, Jannik Sinner, Khachanov, Daniil Medvedev, all through to the next round of that tournament. But let's just quickly look at other winners of last night's game: Matteo Berrettini, Oskar Rune, Taylor Fritz. And well, let's look at the games going down today at the Monte Carlo Masters ATP 1000. Casper Ruud will be up against Jan-Lennard Struff by 10 o'clock. The same time, Jannik Sinner is battling Hubert Hurkacz. Andrew Rublev will take on Karin Khachanov, as Nicolas Jarry will take on Stefanos Tsitsipas. Lorenzo Musetti battling Novak Djokovic, and Daniil Medvedev against Alexander Zverev. Matteo Berrettini battling Oskar Rune with Taylor Fritz against Jiří Liheka. Well, that's the update from that side. Let's just also quickly jump and look at more updates. Well, we have the Billie Jean King Cup in Asia Oceania. We've got games going down in that one. In Mexico, we have the ATP Challenger in Leon, same as the ATP Challenger in Madrid, Spain. We'll move away from that. Let's look at what is happening in the NBA. Well, remember, playing playoffs, we've got updated this morning where Chicago Bulls are through, beating Toronto Raptors 109 to 105 points, as New Orleans Pelicans lost 118 to 123 points against Oklahoma City Thunders. Favor Lawrence, just wait, calm down, right?
What?
Everybody's time will come.
Why am I coming down?
I know. Is it not you?
Oh, I understand.
My worry. No. Okay, so let us also get some reaction this morning, from some teams in the NBA.
Okay, we have Shy Giggles Alexander believing that Oklahoma City Thunder reaped the reward of being battle-tested as they kept their season alive by beating the New Orleans Pelicans. The Thunder, the youngest team in the NBA, ended the Pelican season with a 123 to 118 victory at the Smoothie King Center on Wednesday. Well, their win in the Western Conference playing tournament ensured that they will face a trip to play the Minnesota Timberwolves on Friday, with a place in the NBA playoff at stake.
Okay, now looking at another update here, where Chicago Bulls head coach Billy Donovan labeled Zach LaVine as extraordinary after his 30-second half points lifted them past the Toronto Raptors 109 to 105 points in their play-in tournament game on Wednesday. LaVine finished with 39 points as the Bulls advanced to take on the Miami Heat for the right to the 8th seed and a playoff first round series against Eastern Conference top seed Milwaukee Bucks. Okay, and in case you don't know, Chicago Bulls happens to be
Your third team?
No, it can never be my third team. That is Kess's NBA team, so it can. Chicago Bulls. Wow. All right, now let's move away from that and let us talk football. We'll move straight to the second half of the show. Remember, on Wednesday we were talking about Fatai Osho, who announced his departure from Rivers United. He made a return yesterday, but his return was not enough to help Rivers United overcome their opponent in Jos. Okay, talking about the NPFL, Rivers United lost on the road against Lobby Stars, and Lobby winning their game, also showing that they deserve to be in the position they are in the Group B of the NPFL. Remember, Lobby Stars is topping the log. Now they are currently still holding on to that top position. They were topping with 23 points. Now they have 26 points and winning 3 out of the last 5 matches, losing 1 and drawing 1. Rivers United is still second, meaning Rivers United still has a game in hand. Sunshine Stars has a game in hand. That means it is going to be Rivers United versus Sunshine Stars in the rescheduled NPFL. We don't know the date, but anytime soon. But looking at this game that produced 5 goals, there was a red card very early for Rivers United. Soshima was given a red card in 26 minutes, but guess what? Goals started coming in the second half, 64th minute. So I don't know what the team was looking at. What the two teams were looking at.
Lost focus, actually, because it was a Rivers United that scored the first goal in that match.
Despite a man sent off.
Despite a man sent off. So I felt this was a loss of focus and determination on the part of
overconfidence as well.
No,
we go flog this
overconfidence.
No. Maybe you talk about overconfidence for Lobby Stars. You're playing against 10 players, right? And you feel like, okay, we're going to score. But it was Mohamed who scored in the 64th minute for Rivers United. That also shows that the Rivers United is more experienced. This is a team that is playing on the continent, the CAF Confederations Cup. So, but I also don't know why they had to now concede 2 goals before equalizing the 90th minute, but a late winner in the 96th minute.
It's a glaring mistake on their part.
I don't see that as a mistake, but we should also give it to Lobby Stars. Even if you lose focus, you must not lose it until the final whistle from the referee. But that was how the game went down in the NPFL yesterday. But let's just quickly move on this morning and we'll look at the UEFA Champions League games that were decided last night. As at first we felt like Napoli was going to bring up a good fight. There was also a red card in that game. In the 2 games of the UEFA Champions League, same as the NPFL. So it was a night of...
The big question is, can't Napoli be Napoli without Victor Osimhen?
Napoli can never be Napoli without Victor Osimhen.
That's a problem.
That was what we saw yesterday.
That's a big problem.
What you just
they
said,
need to check
Napoli,
it.
I think they need to get past. So Napoli to that vehicle, but unfortunately, their Napoli was not Napoli.
It was Napoli.
Look at how they lost 4-0 against AC Milan in the Italian Serie A. And what I also saw, Victor Osimhen did not play in that game. That won't be the first time that they will lose without Victor Osimhen, and that will also be that won't also be the first time they will lose with Victor Osimhen in that team. So if I could remember, they lost one Italian Serie A game, I think against Lazio. So Osimhen was in the game. So any team can lose. If you look at Saudi Arabia, Cristiano Ronaldo will be with his team and they will still lose.
Let's look at it.
PSG is losing with Lionel Messi.
Leave Lionel Messi alone. Lionel Messi is thinking about leaving PSG. Let's just not talk about him. But the thing is that Napoli is stopping it long in the
Italian Serie A.
Why is it that they're not taking that same energy to the Champions League?
Well, if you look at the German Bundesliga, Bayern is stopping the German Bundesliga and they lost 3-0 against Manchester City. So, it's a different ball game entirely when you look at this. When you look at the UEFA Champions League and the league games, right? You're playing against your the known sides in the league. Now, when you're playing in the UEFA Champions League, it's a different spirit. Look at Real Madrid. Real Madrid is not consistent in the Spanish La Liga. But when they get to the UEFA Champions League, they've got that DNA.
Well,
they know how to win it.
If you're talking about that, it means that you're also going to bring the case of Chelsea into this, because Chelsea isn't also performing well in the Premier League. And then you're talking about Real Madrid not performing well in the league. And then there's a spirit there.
I think it is an octopus problem. When you say octopus, not to the octopus pole. When you look at octopus, it's got different legs, hands, right? Or a centipede problem. You look at the problem of Chelsea is different from that of Real Madrid, same as Napoli.
Okay.
Look at Napoli. They have to depend on Victor Osimhen. And I feel the coach of Napoli right now will have to think outside the box. If they fail to get past AC Milan in the return leg, meaning they have to go sit back and look at, okay, what if Victor Osimhen leaves at the end of the season? What would be the fate of Napoli? Because, yes, they are runaway leaders in this one. And you look at their form. There was a red card for Anguissa. And it was just a few minutes. He got a yellow card in the 70th minute. 4 minutes later, he got a red card. So it is more of caution. If a player is in the game, you know your key man is not in that game. Everybody needs to fight. But I mean, we should also give it to them. They considered the 40th minute, and since that 40th minute, they held on till the end of that game.
For Napoli, I think the coach should learn from Pep Guardiola.
How?
When Haaland wasn't available, it was a problem for them, and then he switched. He got it right, and then he's been getting it right since then.
Actually, I don't think Pep Guardiola has gotten it right now. Look at, they still have more games to play. They have rescheduled games in the EPL. And UEFA Champions League, they got to the final against Chelsea and they lost. What happened to the team? So, well, Haaland being in the team, remember, they've got a lot of players who can also execute the job, right? But for Pep Guardiola, he cannot just say he has gotten it right until he lays his hands on the trophy. Right, but for Pep Guardiola, that's what he also needs to look at. No Haaland, we can still get a result, but when you get to the final, can you get the job done? He was with Bayern, and he had a better team in Bayern than what he has right now in Manchester City. Based on experience, they've won it before he came on board, and I mean he's got a lot of players in the pool that he can put in the game. But I mean, we can't also say that the game is even over for Bayern right now. That means Thomas Tuchel needs to bring that magic it took to Chelsea. Now, talk about Chelsea's problem. Look at what they played. They lost. Not that they lost, they had a man sent off in their game as well. But Real Madrid, when you talk about a team that's got the UEFA Champions League in the DNA, Karim Benzema, I mean, he continued scoring. And, remember what I also said when I came in, Lampard made it clear that the game is not over. They'll return to London to see how they can also get the result. Will they score 3 goals, 3 unreplied goals to make sure that they win 3-2, or score 4 unreplied goals? Even if they concede, can they score 5 goals to make sure that they bundle Real Madrid out? For Real Madrid, Carlo Ancelotti has managed Chelsea before. He knows how they play, but maybe things have changed based on the current crisis in Chelsea. But let's listen to Let's listen to Frank Lampard and Carlo Ancelotti this morning based on their after that result came for the two managers last night and what they plan to do. First is Carlo Ancelotti.
We are satisfied for the result, for the performance, but it's not over yet. We have to fight, to sacrifice. Other 90 minutes at Stamford Bridge, and we have to be ready for this. We are satisfied only for tonight. It's not over yet, and we know really well that Chelsea will try to put everything next week.
Okay, that's Carlo Ancelotti talking about what they need to put in place to make sure that they also concentrate. The game is not over yet. It is a two-legged encounter. But let's listen to Frank Lampard, who also made it clear that the fans will also be the 12th man on the pitch against Real Madrid. Remember, Chilwell is out of that game, but all they need to do is also see if they can score 3-4 goals when they face Real Madrid next week.
In the game and we had some chances, and I think we can do better. And I think I've been here a short time, and there are definitely things I think that we can utilise our strengths better, especially with the system of the wing backs. We can be more urgent in giving a problem with that. So those are things for myself and the staff and the players to work on, because I could see opportunity there tonight in ways that we didn't quite take. Spirit at the end of the game, great. 10 men here for half an hour, you understand that a lot of things could happen in that, and I don't think we gave them lots and lots of great chances. So I like that part of it, and we have to believe. I need to be the first one that believes that this is possible. Absolutely, if you don't believe in top-level sport, I don't think there's a mindset and a belief. The fans will come and support us. We're realists. We're 2-0 down against Real Madrid. That's fact now, that's done. But I've been involved, as you say, in games that change. We're in a different place now, and maybe that's a good thing, because we're in a place where we want to prove some things wrong, to change the tone, to change the story. And, we went tonight with 10 men against Real Madrid. It's a difficult night for the lads. So I see that they're disappointed in the end, but I also saw that they gave everything in that final part of the game. But it'll be different next week. And, we're not favourites. We were not favourites yesterday, and we're not favourites today. That's football. And the possibilities are ours if we can take them.
Maybe we can also say it's easier said than done, but that was Frank Lampard. Maybe we should also take you back to what also happened in the Bayern-Manchester City game. I mean, it was yesterday we got to know that there was a scuffle between Sadio Mane and Larry Sane after their 3-0 bashing against Manchester City. But I still need to, if you look at this headline here, Mane punched Sane in Bayern dressing room bust up after City defeat. Look at some headlines away from UK. It was, scuffle between two Bayern players. Now, why will you put Mane's name at first and Sane second? It still goes back to where you always want to criticize the black players, because who knows what really happened between them. But another thing is there will surely be a problem. I don't know how Thomas Tuchel is going to manage this team playing against Manchester City in the return leg. You know why? These two players came in from the Premier League to the German Bundesliga. Larry Sane has played in Manchester City before. You should understand the tactics of Pep Guardiola. Mane has played against Manchester City before. You should also see how he can bring in that understanding of playing against the Premier League team when they get to Manchester. So this particular fight is not even needed. But let's move away from that. Let's talk about the Europa League this morning. Let's look at the games that will be going down. For some games that will be going down the Europa League playoff.
Okay, Feyenoord will be up against AS Roma. Bayern Leverkusen will take on Royal Union SG. And we have Juventus against Sporting CP, while Sevilla will be on the road to play host Manchester United.
Okay, talking about Manchester United's game against Sevilla, what for Erik ten Hag, he will be focusing on one man, that is Antonio Martial. Remember, Marcus Rashford is out for the next few days. Yes, we saw that over the weekend, but he's saying here, Antonio Martial, he has shown everybody that he deserves to start games, most especially back-to-back performances for the Red Devils.
No, we don't have to force things, but we're careful, of course. And I have to say, the front line against Brentford and Everton worked really well. I think it was continually we were a threat. It was difficult to defend for the opponent. So I think he is ready, to start the game. But as I said, the front line against the Brentford did really well, and then we decided to continue that against Everton, and they did again very well. The advantage was also that we can bring Anthony Martial slow back, but in the team, give him minutes, get him used to game at the highest level, to high intensity. But I think already against Everton, he was ready to start again.
Okay, that was Erik ten Hag. Well, they will surely miss Marcus Rashford, but I mean, it is what it is, right? But let's look at another set of games also going down away from the Europa League, the third tier of European football competition. West Ham United, English Premier League side, will be on the road against the Gent, as AZ Alkmaar will be against Anderlecht of Belgium. Basel hosts Nice, as Lech Poznan hosts Italian Serie A side Fiorentina. Okay, now as we move away, let's also let you know, most especially for transfer stories, before we move to the other side of the show this morning. Declan Rice has been on the lips of Arsenal, same as on top clubs. But we're getting an update here right now that Declan Rice and Moise Caicedo are on Liverpool's shortlist of Jude Bellingham's alternative, according to reports in Germany, as the club looks for midfield reinforcement. Although remember, Liverpool came out yesterday to say that yes, signing Bellingham is over, so they have to focus on another set of players. But if that should be the case, that means that some players will still have to, there will surely be some makeshift. Now let's look at Vincent Kompany, who's also in the news this morning. That may be a wrong move, but I don't know. Vincent Kompany is now Tottenham's #1 target to replace Antonio Conte. does that? Who does that? Okay, but Manchester United and Manchester City will have to pay as much as £130 million to land Jude Bellingham. If you're an English boy, there is a big money on you, even as bad as our Maguire. Sorry, dear, Maguire he still has a lot of money on his head. All right, now we just have to move to the other side this morning, where we look at updates from the front pages of Nigerian newspapers, with our analysts also joining us in the studio. Remember, we're still live on Facebook, facebook.com/solutions939FM, facebook.com/solutions939FM. Well, the phone lines will surely be thrown open for you to also contribute on the show. Do not go anywhere. It is still AM Updates on Solutions 939FM.
Touch that dial. You know the radio you tune to, it's your Remedy Dial 93.9 Solutions FM. Your number one Remedy Dial.
For this Naija wey we dey so, say you no hold cash no mean say wahala dey o. You wan send money to Male for Villa. Just use Momo. You want buy recharge card or data plus jollificate 15% bonus when you recharge? Just use Momo. You want pay for market where you buy? Just use Momo. You fit use Momo run plenty things without cash. As long as you get Momo account, no cash, no wahala. And e dey easy to open o. Just dial *671# to open Momo account. Set your PIN, transfer money from your bank account inside your Momo account to make you fit dey pay for anything. Send and receive money sharp because life dey simple with Momo. You go jollificate 15% bonus anytime you recharge with Momo.
Saleko is a jungle. Everyone does what they must to survive.
Gangs of Lagos don land for Prime Video and na the #1 film, so make una go watch am. E get better stars like Toby Bakri, Adesuwa Tomi Wellington, Chike, Iyabo Ojo and more. Plus the genge action wey dem do for the film. Chai! Na for only Prime Video you fit watch Gangs of Lagos, and dem go first give you 7 days free trial. Terms and conditions dey o. Oya, japa to Prime Video.
Mommy!
Yes, daughter?
Why is it that almost everyone in my school comes with Sumal candies and biscuits? I just want to know.
Yes, darling. It's because Sumal food is amazing and simply the best.
Yes, Mommy. Even the Sumal wafers and the chewing gum that you've always given to us are extremely delicious and captivating.
Hello, everyone. Here's your bread. Of course, it's yellow bread.
Wow!
Thanks, my dear. We always enjoy Jolly bread. For your biscuits, wafers, candies, chewing gum, and bread.
Sumal Foods, love at first bite.
Sumal Foods, love at first bite.
The Naira Games with your favorite radio presenters. The music with loads of fun and entertainment. It's Box the Wall. Buxton World presents the Naira Game Show in the city of Ibadan, featuring lots of games to win lots of money. And also get a chance to mingle with your favorite radio personalities. Coming live every last Thursday of the month at Platinum Club's outdoor stage, number 2, Awolowo Avenue, Old Bodija, Ibadan, from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. The game ticket is 500 Naira, and you can get yours in all the radio stations in Ibadan. Or you can log into www.buxtonworld.com to play off stage. For sponsorship, call 0905 362 5550. Proudly supported by Platinum Club and all the radio stations in Oyo State. Buxton World Naira Game Show. Every player is a winner.
News, sports, entertainment. Top 100 music on your Remedy Radio dial. Solutions 93.9.
Do not touch that dial. Appreciate you staying tuned to Solutions 93.9 FM. This is the second half of the show, and this is where we term as from the dailies, right? Where we take you through the pages of the Nigerian newspapers and the headlines, and you also have a chance to comment on them. Well, this morning I'll be taking stories from the Vanguard newspaper and the Nigerian Tribune. My name remains Favor or Lauren Tola.
Okay, Oladapo Kudubi is my name, doing this for the first time for the past few months, right? Okay. But let's look at some headlines from Punch and the Nation newspaper this morning. So let's start with Punch, right? Or we'll start with Tribune.
Start with anything, just punch through.
So let's punch down the headlines this morning from the Punch newspaper. And the cap headline here. Cap headlines here says FG to repay World Bank $800 million loan for 25 years. Okay, we need to confirm this. All right, doctors in diaspora petition National Assembly over anti-migration bill. Senate probes Accountant General over 74 billion naira funds. And looking at other headlines here this morning, going straight to the banner headline here. CBN Forex ban. Nigerians imported 18 trillion naira cooking oil, meat, others in 7 years. That is according to a report. And we also look at the writers to this headline. Importers ordered Greek animal products, others from Asian, EU, African countries. Firms sourced dollars at parallel market over CBN Forex ban on 41 items. And we have the front page picture of the collapsed building in Lagos. Banana Island, a 7-story building collapses. Lagos alleges structure lacks permit. And looking at the shoe headlines, Atiku dismisses exile plan, slams protesters. Police arrest 2 over OAU students' death. Lagos Ibadan stadiums owe 950 million naira electricity bills. Sunday Diary. This and more you can get from the Punch newspaper this morning.
Alright, there was a story from the Punch newspaper yesterday where we had a UK immigration detaining questioning Peter Obi for imposters crime. But on the Nigerian Tribune this morning, there is a follow-up story to that. And that is Obi's impersonator may implicate in. Labour Party raises alarm. Narrates how he was harassed at Heathrow Airport. And Anya Awudiri emerged PDP governorship candidate in Imo, Bayelsa State. My son, not a Yahoo boy, mother of man killed, the mob in Ondo cries out. Now police arrested 2 over killing of OAU undergraduate students, state protests. Oyo Assembly gives Makinde approval to deduct 5% for stamp duties recovery. APC adopts direct primary for Kogi governorship as court offers a delegate list, and we also have APC will zone 10th National Assembly leadership after Ramadan. You can get that story on page 2 of the Nigerian Tribune, where we have the Senate spokesman speaking there. And nuns threaten civil disobedience over school fees hike. Subsidy removal says more than 30% of students drop out due to high fees hardship. And the last one here on the Nigerian Tribune is tragedy as 7-story building collapses in Banana Island. No fatality. Government experts question state certification of Lagos State Building Control Agency. We're always having stories from Lagos about collapses and everything, and I keep wondering, is it the inferior materials or the time that was used to build it, or the fact that the architecture build the diagram or something wasn't done right? Then who sanctioned all of these buildings if they were not good enough for construction?
I think if you look at the front page of the Punch newspaper, Banana Island 7-story building collapses. Lagos alleges structure lacks permit. So meaning there was no permit.
I know a time in Ibadan here, when there is a building construction, there's always this town planning people going around. Yes, marking this is not sanctioned. This is not sanctioned, and it's not going to continue. Why is that not done in Lagos?
Well, that's a lot of questions and need answers. And if you look at some headlines I saw yesterday is like stated that the Lagos State government has started investigation concerning that particular building. Check the time right now. This is 9:40, and we are still looking at headlines on the pages of Nigerian newspaper this morning. And the next newspaper I have here is the Nation newspaper. And the first set of headlines here say, how Obi was detained in London by aide. He was impersonated. G5 governors, mini convention plan deepens PDP crisis. National Stadium, Surulere, they had facts. You want to get the hard fact? See the details on the page 9 of the Nation newspaper. Now looking at other set of headlines here. IMF lists ways out of currency inflation crisis. 3rd million bridge for repairs with 62 billion naira. Okay, now looking at other headlines here. Obi lacks right to contest my victory. To contest my victory, Tinubu tells Tribunal. And writers to these headlines are Shetima Validity nominated as running mate. APC, Atiku, PDP can't query president-elect's qualification. And we still have the same picture we have at the front page of the Nation newspaper concerning the collapsed building, the 7-story building in Banana Island in Lagos. And the headline to that particular picture says, many feared trapped under collapsed Lagos building. And part of some headlines we also saw last night was that 7 people had already been rescued from that collapsed building, but we don't know what the situation is currently this morning. And this is 9:42. Presidential poll most credible in Nigeria's history. Observers report rate beavers high, says Keyamo. Others. Gunmen kidnap, kill police inspector. Protesting OAU over killing of student. You can get all the stories from the Nation newspaper this morning.
Well, let me move over to the Vanguard newspaper this morning, and the first one that I have here is the major one, which says presidential poll: APC PDP fight over validity of outcome, why APC's electoral victory must not stand. PDP PCC says judiciary's on trial must save Nigeria. Tinubu's victory reflects will of Nigerians. APC tells Atiku we didn't supply beavers to INEC. Adds whipping up sentiments, won't help PDP's case. And now we have this one: budget deficit, DMO to sell 360 billion naira FGN bonds, and also ignore opposition. APC won presidential poll, Tinubu tells foreign media. Wike called me 19 times in 2 hours, lobbying to be Atiku's running mate. Dino Malai on page 12. And we have the story. We have Emefiele there at the World Bank IMF meetings. And then we have bribe for promotion. PSC forced headquarters to unearth syndicate. Labour Party crisis festers as factions clash over control of Secretariat. How Obi was detained at London airport for hours. Obi won't be deterred by UK immigration officials' harassment, media office. And then we have killings. Our editors killed 89, reduced 31 communities to rubble. And 10th National Assembly APC chieftains meet Tinubu in Paris over zoning. And let's see, I think that's everything that I can take right here on the Vanguard newspaper.
Okay, so let's move to the other side this morning as we check the burning issue here. First, let's talk about what the Senate, has been. We've been getting update from the National Assembly about 5 years mandatory 5 years for doctors to stay back in Nigeria to make sure before. Making sure that they get out of the country. We'll look at this morning as we also look at some other burning issue, that of Lagos State building collapse. We'll look at how this can be stopped. Remember, we are currently, we're gradually moving to the rainy season. What should state government do to make sure that this stop? Remember, last year there were a series of stories of collapsed buildings and the likes. We also look at the report about Forex. Nigerians importing 18 trillion naira cooking oil, meat, others. Based on the reports we are getting. In 7 years, how can we, avoid this? There's a new government coming on board. What should be put in place? How do we focus? I think at the point in time we're looking at, eating the local rice, banning importation of rice and the likes. But first, let's talk about what has been trending for the past few days. It has been, concerning the medical profession and what should be done. Well, the Nigerian Medical Association has come out to say that the decision to, pass a bill concerning making Nigerian doctors spend 5 years before, getting opportunity to leave the shores of the country. Here is the enemy president, Ojima Uche, speaking on this. And after that, the senior committee chair on health, Ibrahim Oloriegbe, will also be getting his own, is part of this. What should be done? Instead of saying that Nigerian doctors should be grounded in Nigeria for 5 years, what should be the next solution? Before Ayodele Ajishoko joins us virtually this morning. But first, this is NMA President Ojima Uche.
You are bound to lose it. And you don't know what you have. If you don't value what you have, you are bound to lose it. And you don't know what you have until you lose it. That is what is happening in Nigeria today. If you cast your mind back, you will realize that as far back as 2012 period, the Nigerian Medical Association has been complaining that Nigerian doctors are leaving because they are not well taken care of. And you cannot reinvent the wheel. Medicine is a universal profession with standards and guidelines. We cannot come to Nigeria, instead of finding out the problem and solving it, will bring a quick fix that will destroy the medical profession totally. Because the solution to headache cannot be decapitation in any way. If you decapitate a man, yeah, you've cured his headache, but he won't be alive. So if you now decide that Nigerian doctors cannot have full or permanent license for 5 years after graduation, automatically, Shehu, you have made them house officers for 5 years, because all he's talking about giving back to the society, okay, can only be possible if you have a full license. You cannot practice alone if you do not have a full license. You can't even be a youth corper, because a youth corps doctor has full license. That is why he can practice alone in a particular place. You cannot be a medical officer. You cannot join residency training if you don't have full license, unless you are going to waive full license for all these people, and therefore they are no longer liable or culpable for whatever goes wrong. So what I'm saying is that that is not the solution. And automatically you're going to discourage the young medical students from reading medicine. Again, my own fear now is that he may have spooked the doctors that may be planning to leave in a year to start living immediately before they are clamped down.
NMA President Ojema Uche speaking there. But now let's also get that of Senate Committee Chairman on Health, Ibrahim Oloriegbe. He was also speaking yesterday live on the TV. What should be the solution to this crisis?
Why doctors are moving, cannot just be stopped by saying you deny them license. We have to address the cause. And the causes are, the remunerations are not what we can say is a take home for a doctor that has been trained for such a years, for the caliber of people that they are, then the condition of service. So there are ways through which we can introduce certain quick wins to ensure people stay. One, that is, we have to invest more in the health sector to pay doctors better, to bond them through giving them some incentives and motivation. Like we suggested the other day, give doctors you give them car loan, you give them mortgage. That a doctor that graduates will immediately have a car. This will happen in the country. A doctor that graduates will have a loan to own a house. These are things that will make people to stay in the country, to go through training, to practice, to deliver services.
Okay, so that was Senate Committee Chairman on Health, Ibrahim Oloriegbe, also, adding his own take on this particular issue yesterday. But remember, you can also be part of the program this morning. Numbers to call 0909-888-9939 or 0912-222-2939. But let us get in touch with Ayode Jajishokwe this morning, in-house analyst, as we also look at supplementary elections going down the next few days. Well, remember, some results of elections were, suspended, to call for a supplementary election due to crisis at some polling units, or maybe over voting, as you may also feel. But looking at also some off-season elections, we got that of Bayelsa Diodiri, who's the sitting governor, getting the ticket, the governorship ticket for his party to run for a second time. I've never seen a situation where a sitting governor will not get, we not win primaries. That I've never seen that before, but with what we are seeing here,
it's the party.
Well, so you cannot say the leader of the party will not go for second term. All right, but so let's see if Ayode Jajishokwe, will be joining us in the next few minutes ahead of that. But before that, let's also, look at some other headlines here as we also await some other latest updates coming from Lagos this morning about the building, the 7-story building that collapsed yesterday. Ayode Jajishokwe, thank you for joining us this morning.
It's gone.
Okay, so we'll have, to reconnect. However, there's been a lot of talks, concerning that of, Peter Obi is, he was detained and later released. A lot of stories from different sides. Also, still talking about but some of the headlines we have on the front page. Oh yes, Ambode didn't get second time ticket. Thank you very much, Jerry. Yes, that's also caused a big problem in Lagos. Remember, when you step on. Okay, don't let me don't let me discuss that this morning, because I mean, if you could remember, Ambode came out, gave a world press conference, and that was how Babajide Sanwo-Olu got the ticket to run, for the first term in office. And at the end of the day, he got the second time ticket. And even before that, there were different stories that maybe Babajide Sanwo-Olu might have not gotten the return ticket. But let's see if we can also look at some other issues here. But if you're saying that, if a report says that 18 trillion naira, was spent in importing cooking oil, meat, have we gotten to that stage in Nigeria where we cannot, produce more? Not that we cannot produce, because some people will tell you that yes, I cannot buy local oil. Is it that we are not why are we not getting it right? That's one of the questions here. How can we even get it right?
The question is, the fact remains that we all know, we all agree that our agricultural system is not really, I wouldn't say it's not functioning right, but it's just not functioning up to optimally. Because every time you hear you are importing this, you're importing that. Look at the rice pyramid that was made after those times that we heard that we haven't gotten any report that rice has been produced massively from that pyramid. Every time it's about importation. If it's not importing fuel, if it's not importing PMS, we're importing something. If it's not importing dresses, used dresses, new dresses, we are just importing one thing or the other. And with these importations, the economy of Nigeria is just, is at stake here.
Okay, sorry to cut in here. I mean, Comrade Olu Omotosho is here, joining us virtually this morning. Thank you very much, Comrade, for taking out your time this morning. Out of no time, bringing you live virtually. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Good morning, Rakob.
Good
And
morning.
how are you guys there?
We're doing fine. Good morning.
Good morning.
All right.
Sorry, I miss you. I miss you guys.
We also miss you.
choice.
we also miss you, and we just had to bring you from where you are to bring you virtually this morning. I mean, there are a lot of there are a series of headlines here that we need you to also share your opinion on this. Let us analyze first. Okay. So first is the report from the Punch this morning. About CBN Forex ban. Nigerians imported 18 trillion naira cooking oil, meat, others in 7 years. And, talking about importation, but for you, even if you are going to eat anything in Nigeria, I mean, you see a local groundnut oil and the imported groundnut oil, you would have preferred to pick an imported one. What can we do to get things right? We have an incoming government. We have a government coming in May. What are those things we need to put in place to make sure that even our locally made products will surely be, accepted by Nigerians?
Yeah. Thank you, listeners, and good morning to you all. Good morning to Nigeria. You see, for us to get things up right from here, there is something that those who are ruling us, those in the leadership cadre, there is something that they need to really adjust to, and not just speak about it alone, but to live it and then make everybody see that they truly are living it. For us, there is this creed that we must steer ourselves away from. And that is the interest that we have in foreign products. Now, this current administration was harping on it for some time, and then they thought that we need to embrace local products. But are they really doing it? And our economy is in shambles. We have a lot of challenges and all that, and yet what we make here, we use it to develop and to build other economies of other nations that brings products that most time are even substandard to what to their equivalent here that are produced here in this country. Now, a lot of things needs to be done. This coming administration must be made or must be meticulous about making sure that things that are produced in this country are embraced or catch the fancy of citizens. Now, that is when our economy will begin to build our economy. Now, our currency will continue to prostrate, to prostrate for as long as what we do or everything that we need, that even to the point that the water we drink, we want to import. Now, if we are not importing anything, then definitely we are exporting. We are importing technology when we have it here, when we have what we can export here. So this administration must be very, very meticulous about it. Now, other nations have in the past in this country we have silos, we have storage facilities and all that where we store things, and then when there is price change, I could remember a few years ago we had something like that. We have a minister of finance that monitors market and the prices in the market on a regular basis. Now they buy things, they buy like grains and all that and store it. When the price is going up, they push it back to the markets to bring it down. Now, what happened to all of that? So I think for us, because every other thing that we complain about in this country, the moment that the basic things of life, like food and some things that we really need, that we make use that the common man needs, in as much as we have it available in the market, of course, agitation will go down. And for as long as we are not doing the right thing, and that is making life very, very difficult. Now, somebody that was earning 30,000 naira 2 years ago, and then living by it, now give that same person 50,000 naira today. Now, he will not be able to achieve the same thing that 30,000 was achieving for him or her some 2 years back. So there is need for us, for governments to make everybody see. Government should live by example. We should live in Nigeria. I mean, let everybody see that yes, we are truly Nigerians, and we are living Nigerians. We are doing what Nigeria. We don't want to make Nigeria grow. So we see all these phantom policies of these. Now we are going to do this, we are going to do that, and all that are not impacting on the life of the common man on the street. Will not go anywhere. Will not bring joy. Will not drive down agitation in this country. That's one basic advice that this incoming administration must take and must yield to. And the moment that is done, of course, when the people, as much as the people can get whatever they need, they go out there, they get what they need and all that. It makes it easy for them. And of course, they don't really care how much the government is spending or what about, at least give them their basic needs. I think that is one thing that this incoming administration must focus on.
Comrade Omolomotosho, good morning to you.
Good morning.
Yes.
I miss you. I miss that your smile on behind the console.
Thank you very much, comrade. All right, so let's move over to Lagos. We have spoken about the incoming government and what they should put in place. In Lagos, we've been having high rise of building collapse. And every time there is a building collapse, the government comes out to say that it wasn't certified by the government. We did not know anything about this. And can we tag that negligence on the part of the government? And what is the way forward to all of this collapses that we keep getting? Because this is becoming too much, especially in Lagos State.
Yeah. You see, it's just that we have a higher rate of building collapse in Lagos. It's like that everywhere. Currently in Abuja, I'm in Abuja, very close to the our office here in Abuja. A building collapsed just last week too. A 4-story building, just the same thing. Now, you see, what we need to do boils down to the fact that government needs to be very, very sincere in whatever they do. Some of these buildings, initially they would tell us that those buildings that are collapsing are the ones handled by local contractors. But the one that collapsed in Abuja I'm talking about here was handled by a foreign firm. So, which means it has to do with maintaining the standard, government being sincere about it. A lot of things were done where, people are granted some kind of waivers. When, we shouldn't compromise a standard. When we say, look, this is the size of block you're going to use, and this is how this should be the composition of the mixture of cement and all that to build this and all that, when you are using slabs and things like that. When we have all of these things stated, it must be meticulously followed. We must insist that the standard be followed. Now, if as much as that is not done, now we will continue to have this. Look at the building that collapsed the other time in Lagos. Now, it was the building. The building was not meant to go as high as it went, and of course, look at the result. Look at the number of people that went with it. Even the owner of the building also also went with it. So it is a matter of government saying, look, this is the standard, and they're standing by it. Yes, it has to do. It is not all the time that government can ensure that all of these things are done. No, it's going to take some time.
If we look at past years, while I was growing up, whenever a structure is being constructed, I usually see this red mark, and I needed to ask my parents what that meant. It meant that the government was actually looking out for illegal structures being constructed. If you look at it right now, you cannot see these red marks from whomever it is that takes control of all of these things. You don't see it on the street, especially in Ibadan anymore. Does this say that the government is negligent, doesn't know that, okay, these structures are coming up, or there is someone that maybe have tipped somebody that won't go check on those buildings?
You see, just like I'm talking about standard, the standard must be maintained. And then in Nigeria, you see those red marks you're talking about, they are still out there.
I barely see them. See them.
Yeah, they are still there, but you see it on the wall of the people that do not have the wherewithal, those that do not really have the kind of connection. Now, and of course, I tell you, even when you see the red mark there, what they want to do is they just want to be sure that, okay, did you get the right papers and all that? Did you have the approval to build this and things like that? Not really about the quality of materials that are being used. Now, something that will change the whole thing is for government to be very, very sincere about it. Now, when there are no deterrents, when there are no deterrents, of course, the offenders and people who cut corner will continue to do that. And of course, creativity will come into it. Now, government should begin to be meticulous about this. Bring some people to book, no matter how highly placed they are. The moment some people are spared, because, they are highly placed, because they are sacred cows and things like that, the moment that continues, of course, we will continue to have this. And we need to, what we should consider is the lives of the people that we are losing. We really don't know if some of these people that are dying, some of them might be, we might have somebody that God has said this is going to be, the Messiah that will bring this country out of the woods and things like that. And the moment he dies, that's the end of it. That means we have to wait until another person, until another one comes. Government needs to know that the life of every Nigeria is very, very important. And as long as we continue, we change the ways we do things now. I was saying the other time that it's not government alone. Even we ourselves, even the citizens ourselves, we must get to a point that whether a government is coming to inspect or not, we must make sure that in everything we do, we keep to standard and do things the normal way. But that's the way, that shows that we are sincere, that shows that we are patriotic to the country.
Comrade.
So, it has to do with all of us.
Okay, comrade. Yes. You said something now that it has to do with all of us. But, maybe back then when they sell a truck of granite, or that of, even let's look at a bag of cement. Back then, I think a bag of cement happens to be like 1,750. But now, I don't know how much, but I know at least the last time I heard, I think a bag of cement happens to go for like 4,000, 5,000 naira. But I don't know how much now. But what is the minimum wage of the civil servants? One, and I know some people, if they want to get blocks. They would rather do that on their own. Get a ground that has a particular sand instead of buying and, see how they can merge everything together to produce a block. And, this alone, has a ripple effect. Back then they always do the mud house. I don't even think mud houses, collapse as what we are having now, because what the data says now, part of what, based on the research